But when I say that I have a relationship with God, that means that I know God.
I get you.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying like I know God.
So even I won't even put this on there, but this is why I said you may even get offended, right? Because you just said what I already knew you was gonna say, right?
Yeah.
You said because I know God, right? Watch this. Like I said, this ain't even gonna be on air. But watch what it says. 1 John 2 verse 4. I'm gonna start at verse 4. Watch what it says. It says, "He that saith, I know him." That's what you just said, right? "And keepeth not his commandments is a liar, and the truth is not in him." You see that? Now, when I read that to people, they get offended like a mud because of what you already believe and what you already think.
Yeah.
But when I read the Bible, that's just what it says. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cause trust me, I heard it all. Like I said, I grew up with that stuff too. You know what I'm saying? I heard it all. You know what it's called? It's a Christianity spirit that's on our people. And when we really believe in it and we're stuck in it, we all have the same type of answers.
So what's your so that was my verbiage, right? The words that I chose.
We back on? Hold on.
Hey, you want me to tell y'all something? Real talk?
Yeah.
I hate when black folks debate religion.
Right.
Is it a debate?
Man, nah, y'all. I walked in, so I'm just like, you know what I mean? Hey,
she was asking questions.
No. But I'm just.
She was asking questions.
I'm just saying, no. I'm not talking nothing negative and that. I'm just telling you just a certain point because I've sat back like I can't think of my guy's channel in Harlem in New York, but man, they'll get different points. You know what I'm saying, man? You know they get brothers, man. You know what I'm saying, brothers, man. You know, Hebrewites and shit. You know, you'll get brothers that's studying comedic energy, man, and they sit there and debate, and I just be sitting there, and I'm like, what the fuck is y'all debating religion? We still around here getting gunned down by the police.
Right.
We still around here, man, taking losses. We still around here homeless. We still around. Our people right now, because this is my point. If let's say we was to separate as black people. Come on, man. Last time we looked at construction, piping, electricity, and everything, it wasn't that many black folks that was doing.
Bro, honestly, if you black people are the most fucked up in Africa. Like people trying to get us to go back to that natural state and go back to Africa and everything. We the most fucked up in Africa. Right? When you go to Africa, Africa is fucked up, bro. It's all Africans taking certain Africans taking all the money. Got all the rest of it's a certain percentage, a small percentage of Africans taking all the money, getting all the riches. And a large percentage of the Africans fucked up and broke.
Well, shit, right?
And it's like, and it's in Africa, in our own country, where we the most fucked up. And we talk about, we see here in America, where it's fruitful and we able to get some money and able to do our thing. And we sit here and complain about how the white people are doing us. But if we was back in Africa, our own black people are doing us fucking worse. Right. You know what I mean? Doing us way worse.
I hear what you're saying. Let me touch on a couple quick points just before I don't want to forget them. Real fast, Sirach chapter 15 verse 20. Real quick. Because we had said something earlier about, isn't that why Christ died for our sins, right? Read that.
Sirach chapter 15 verse 20. He hath commanded no man to do wickedly. Neither hath he given any man license to sin. Christ
didn't give no man license to sin. Right? The reason why he died is so that we can actually fix ourselves. We all hear grace, right? I know you know grace. I have grace. Well, what is grace? It's a period of time, right? Just like when we pay our bills. Every bill, when they come to collect, they say, okay, you have a grace period to what? Pay your bill. You don't have a grace period to keep not paying your bill. You have a grace period to get it right. But if you don't get it right, what happens? Get cut off. That time period ends.
But they never specified that in the Bible.
Yeah, it did actually.
Where?
We just never got taught it.
Where did it specify? Show me where it specified.
Watch, read it.
I love to learn.
All praise to the Most High. All praise. Yeah, we just wasn't taught correctly. That's all it really is.
Brother. Teach. That's what you're here for, right?
So read Romans 6 first, then read Titus 2.
6:18.
Romans chapter 6, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound?
So it says, what shall we say? Should we continue in sin that grace may abound? Because we have grace, right? Read.
God forbid.
You know what God forbid mean? Hell no. It said God forbid. Read.
How shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein?
You see that? We should no longer be living in sin because we have grace. So he died so that we can say, oh, dang, instead of getting the punishment of sin, because the punishment of sin is death, we have a chance to say, please forgive me, Lord, right? Repent, right? And correct ourselves. Proverbs 28:13, hold that.
But the thing, look, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're all gonna die anyway. So ain't it better to live life the way it is now to try to rewind life and try to get people to live life on a righteous level or the level that you feel is righteous
Well,
for the people to be living?
well, the
Like,
question
we're
then-
already living a life and people are good. We've overcome racism as
You think we overcome racism?
I didn't finish.
Oh, okay.
We've overcome racism as a systematic thing. It's not just we have racism. It's always going to be racism, but it's not a
You basically
Like,
saying
you know what I
we
mean?
no longer in
Segre-
slavery.
no longer slavery, no longer segregation, no longer like you know what I mean. You can't publicly.
So let me ask you a
Just-
question. I'm going to ask two questions. Did we not get segregated in Ukraine? We got segregated.
They already segregated.
We couldn't- we
They don't
couldn't-
even fuck with y'all in Ukraine. They
We
don't fuck with niggas in Ukraine.
we couldn't get on no trains or nothing to get
They don't
away.
fuck
We
with
got
niggas.
segregated.
They don't
Let me
fuck
ask you
with
another
us.
question. In slavery, if you came off a master's plantation and you got caught in the middle of them woods, what you have to provide? Paperwork. If you leave master's country and you want to go to a different country, what you got to provide?
Paperwork.
Same. They just make us think it's something different. You know, watch this. Read that real quick because I want to touch that point. Read.
Proverbs chapter 28, verse 13. He that covereth his sins shall not prosper.
If you make excuse for your sin, you don't prosper. Read.
But whoso confesseth and forsaketh
You got to
them
confess and forsake. That's changing, right? That's forsaking the sin. You realize, dang, this is wrong, like Officer Benai was saying, and then you forsake it, meaning you stop sinning. Read.
But whoso confesseth and forsaketh them shall have mercy.
That's how you get the mercy. What's
So
the
I have a
point?
question. So you talked about with the grace, right? With the grace being a time period, and then we talked about when people say that I know God. So there's different sins, So you realize you woke up and you said, okay, I realized that I was doing this and this is a sin, so I want to change it. But you still have these other things that you have to correct in order to get it right, to be accepted. So my question is, at what point, because you said you're not supposed to say that, or in the Bible it says that you're not supposed to say that you know God. So what's the in between knowing God and grace? Because if you're falling short because you're sinning, then you don't know God, but you're on your way to getting to know God. So how are you supposed to?
I'll show you
be
the
on
in
your
between.
journey?
Go to Hebrews.
But if nobody's supposed to know
10:26.
God, how do you know what God is saying?
No, hey,
At the same time, if you're
Exactly.
not- that's why I say
You
know
have
what I'm
to
saying?
learn.
The Bible is so contradictory.
nope, it's not the Bible. It's the way we've been taught the Bible is what's contradictory. You got to think about it. Someone who has stripped your culture from you, took your heritage, separated you as a family. Do you really think they're going to teach you that you're the greatest people on earth? You think they're going to teach you
But they're
your book
teaching their
correctly?
own people the same thing.
What? Wait, say that again? They're teaching their own people what? That they're the greatest on earth?
No, I mean, whatever they teach us is the same thing they teach in their
Oh, that's what we was just talking about before you guys walked in. The younger generation, they're casualty of war. They're ignorant as well. But the older generation of the rest of the nations, they know who they are. See,
Who are we?
Watch, real quick. Well, I already said that.
People
Israelite.
that have been separated. Like,
No, but watch. Look, check it out. An Iranian man. If you ask him who he was 1,000 years ago, you know what he's gonna tell you? Oh, I'm a Persian. Where can you find the word Persian or Persian as a nation? In the Bible. The Chinese man, their bomb. What are their? What's the name of their bomb? Moab. Who are they in the Bible? Moabites. The Japanese man, you go to his country right now, he gonna say, look at our beautiful Ammonitess princesses. Who are the Ammonites? They're in the Bible. That's the Japan. They know who they are.
Hey,
But when you ask the so-called black, native, and Latino man, who are you 1,000 years ago? What do we get stuck at? Slavery, colonization. We can't tell you who we were. You know what we say? Aztecs, Byzantine Empire.
But ain't that
But
our
we
own
can't say who we are in the
because
Bible.
That's our own fault. How do they know who they are, but we don't know who we are?
Okay, again, you said it's our own fault, and I told you, I agree with that. Why? Because we're the ones who went off first.
Because they got just as fucking.
No, but you got to remember.
Ridiculed. They got just as fucking ridiculed as they hated the Japanese. They got just as ridiculed and fucking race. What they call it? Fucking discriminated against as we did.
But this is what you have to remember. What you have to remember is this. We start keeping the laws of God, right? Cool. Like you said, it's our fault. That's what our fault is, though. Since then, we did go into a cursed state. When Christ walked the earth, we still knew we were Israelites. They were arguing about the laws of God because Christ said you don't need to sacrifice no more. They was arguing about the laws of God. Today, we have a harder job. That's why you was asking about a brick wall. Because we don't even realize we're the Israelites no more. There was never no argument about who the Israelites were.
The thing is, though, bro.
But watch this. Real quick, can I answer her?
Same things at the same time.
Let me answer her real quick. Let me answer her.
Somebody's
Oh, go ahead. Okay, let me answer her real quick. The in-between, Hebrews 10:26.
Hebrews chapter 10, verse 26. For if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth.
Wait, stop. It says, if we sin willfully after what?
After that we have received the knowledge of the truth.
After you receive the knowledge of the truth. So you're learning.
Yeah, yes.
So wait, watch. You haven't learned everything like you said.
Right.
You're trying to learn.
Yeah.
So if you learned, I am not supposed to eat shrimp, but you still do it, read.
For if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins.
Now it's like Christ didn't even die for you.
But who's to say what is the truth? Who is that? Who is saying what the truth is?
Well, again,
Who is this?
That
Who
goes-
wrote the truth?
that goes back to if you believe
What
the
is
Bible.
truth? That goes back to if you believe Boskoe right now. Like, if you believe
Read
me.
Psalm 68:11.
I'm saying that, bro. Who is telling the truth? That goes back to belief. Boskoe said this. Everybody fuck with Boskoe. Nigga, we know Boskoe. Boskoe said this. Nigga, that's the truth.
I get you.
I'm saying, bro, but who's to say? Like, bro.
But like I said, do you believe the Bible? That's the question. That would be
No.
But you see what I'm saying? That would be the question to anyone else when you say what's the
I don't
truth.
believe the Bible. Like, honestly,
Read.
respectfully and honestly, me personally, I don't because it's too contradictory.
You know why?
It's like a fucking liar.
And I would-
It's like a liar that keep trying to tell me, nigga, I got a boat and I got some jet skis and I got a truck. But every time I say, all right, bro, it's hot as fuck, bro, bring out the boat. I can't
Hey.
do it. What the fuck is
You
the
know why a
problem?
lot
You
of
always
our-
telling me you got this boat and these jet skis and this truck, but every time it's hot and I tell you, nigga, let's hit the water, let's hit the lake, you never want to bring out the boat and the jet skis.
You don't have.
and the
I can't
truck.
never see it. But look, check it out. You know why a lot of our people, when I say our people, so-called blacks, natives, and Latinos, don't believe the Bible?
Yeah.
Because they believe the white man. That's why.
No, because
The white man has tricked you
It's not. It's because
into
we
making
believe
you
what
not believe your own book.
It's because we believe what we see.
I hear you.
We believe
I hear
not
you.
what we hear, what we see. We don't believe what you're trying to show us.
Okay.
We believe what we see.
Well, let me
Nigga,
let me
can
ask you
tell
this.
me you could tell me what you gonna give me, but
Mm-hmm.
until I see what you gave me, I don't go.
Let me ask you-
shit.
let me-
Nigga,
let me
can
ask you
tell
this.
I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna do this for you. I'm gonna do that. But until you give it to me, it don't mean shit.
Let me ask you if you see this. Zechariah 11:5. Start at verse 4. Let me ask you if you see this. Zechariah 11, verse 4.
Zechariah chapter 11, verse 4.
Uh-huh.
Thus saith the Lord, my God, feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them.
It says, feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them,
and hold themselves not guilty.
and then they turn around and hold themselves not guilty. Do you see that?
Who is the who though?
It says, feed the flock of the slaughter. That means there's a nation that's being
Who are their
slaughtered.
possessors though? Who?
Their possessors slay them and then say they're not guilty.
Who are
So-
the possessors?
I guess it would be
So-
white people.
So let me ask you.
But we are our own possessors.
No, wait,
though.
but I'm about to
Black
ask you.
Our black people gave us our black people let them white people come up. If we was in Africa chilling, doing our own thing,
Mm-hmm.
our black people gave us to them possessors.
Watch this.
So why do we place
Give me
all the
Joel,
blame?
Joel chapter 3, because now you're arguing that the police don't kill you in the middle of the street, and the police don't hold themselves innocent.
They do kill us.
Niggas kill
But
them.
I'm gonna argue is
And
why
you're true, and
No.
you're true with that, right?
niggas kill
But
us in the
do
middle of the
niggas
street more than
possess
police.
The old lady do.
No, the question was, do Negroes possess Negroes? Or do
I
white
kinda
folks
think
possess
I be
Negroes?
having this. No, this is the thing. I be having forget religion, take religion out of the equation.
Mm-hmm.
I be having the same conversation with my mother.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, are we gonna keep placing the blame on something like? Are we gonna keep placing the blame on what happened in our life? Or are you gonna step up to the plate and place the blame on yourself?
Yeah, you got to take accountability. That's what we're
You
talking
have
about.
to take accountability.
You gotta take accountability.
for your own.
My
the
purpose
thing
of reading
So
that-
the thing is not
Mm-hmm.
leading, not preaching their word, the word of the Bible. The thing is preaching the word of yourself. Now that you're woke, you're
Right.
starting to read other teachings of the Bible.
So
I'm
you
not
said-
trying to teach nobody else the Bible if I know that the Bible has flaws.
So check it out. You
Why
just
would
said
I-
a couple things. I already told you. You believe the white man. You just said their words. You believe the white man. He tricked you.
No,
I'm going to show you that in the Bible.
I believe my word. I believe my
you believe the white man because he
No,
tricked
I believe
you.
my interpretation of what I've read in the Bible and
Go,
what I'm
go to
hearing,
Joel
what
chapter
you're
3.
telling me.
Watch,
No,
I'm about to show you.
It's not the white man that I believe.
Watch,
I believe
what
what
you
you're
see.
telling me, and I believe my own mind is saying that don't calculate right.
But you
It's
hear what
not-
I'm saying?
it's
You
not
said
the white
their
man.
word. They told you that is their word.
This, whoever they is that wrote that Bible.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
write that Bible.
But you're not saying
didn't
it's
write
the,
that Bible.
You're not saying it's the white man's word.
No, I'm not saying the white man's word.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying they.
Go to
as in
Joel chapter 3.
Whoever it is that wrote that Bible. It's not one. It's whoever is the book of Joseph, the book of Josiah,
Oh,
the book of Jeremiah.
Psalm 68,
the book
11
of
first.
Like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of books.
I got you.
They, whoever wrote the Bible, is whatever they said.
Watch
Like,
who wrote the
that's what I'm
Bible.
saying.
You know who wrote the Bible?
Who?
We did. Read.
Psalm chapter 68, verse 11.
How they
Lord
tell us
gave
wrong
the word.
things? It's,
Go ahead,
it's
watch.
things that you tell us are wrong. If we wrote the Bible and it's the same Bible, and you guys told us that things are wrong in the Bible and things are
Who told you this wrong in the Bible?
it's things you say are wrong in the Bible. It's things.
What?
It's certain points that you say are like
No,
that
you're
was-
thinking about what the white man taught you the Bible says. Read it.
Psalm
68,
chapter
11.
68, verse 11. The Lord gave the word. Great was the company of those that published it.
Mm-hmm.
Kings of armies did flee apace.
Stop. It said God gave the word. Great was the company of those that wrote it. We already read in Amos 2:11. The Israelites are the prophets that wrote that thing. Now watch this. Go to Joel chapter 3 because you keep saying our own black people did it, right? Go
We
to
did.
Joel.
We
You
did.
got Exodus
if
11
all
and 7.
life started in Africa.
Watch.
They say our life started in
We about
Africa,
to read
right?
it.
Like,
Read
bro,
Exodus 11 and 7. Watch
Exodus,
this.
Exodus chapter 11, verse 7.
Uh-huh.
But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue.
So that means nobody go speak against Israel. Why? Because when we rule with great power. They know. The scripture says they all know that we tormented them. Why? We rule with great success. Read.
Against man or beast.
So not a dog will even move his tongue against the children of Israel. Read.
That ye may know how that the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
The Lord put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. We're not the same people. Go to Joel chapter 3. That's why that so-called African hasn't come to try to save us. Because he know we're not the same. Yeah, we may be all brown skinned, dark skinned, but we're not the same people. The Lord put a difference between the Israelite and the Egyptian. Read.
Joel chapter 3.
So let's see what happened in Africa. Read.
Verse 4. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre? and
Tyre.
Tyre,
That's an African nation. Read.
and Sidon.
You could read about them. Tyrus, right? Read. And Sidon, an African nation. Read.
and all the coast of Palestine.
We know that's over there, right? Read.
Will you render me a recompense?
Recompense is a repayment or a reward. Read.
And if you recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return the recompense.
He said, I'm going to return it upon your own head. I'm going to reward you back for trying to come against me. Read.
Upon your own head.
Why, though? Let's see why.
Because
Watch, listen.
Who said this?
God, we're reading the Bible. Read.
To who?
because
Who
ye have,
did he say this
To the
to?
Africans, to the who you think is your own people, to the Hamites. Read.
because ye have
We're
taken,
Shemitic. We are Shemites. They're Hamites. Read.
because ye have taken my silver and,
Wait,
my,
because you took my silver and my gold. Read.
and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant
Watch.
things.
Watch. Let it play out. Read.
The children also of Judah
The children of Judah,
and the children of Jerusalem
the children of Jerusalem. That's northern and southern kingdom. That's all of the children of Israel.
have ye sold unto the Grecians.
Wait a minute. So when you watch Kuta Kinte running and getting chased down by his own people, it wasn't. It was the Hamite selling the Israelite to the who?
Have ye sold unto the Grecians.
To the Grecians. Remember I said about who Edom was, right? When we went to Malachi. Go back to Malachi 1 and 4. You got Edom on the phone now? Watch this. The Hamites, the so-called African, sold us to the white man. That's what happened over there. See, they made us believe. I told you believe the white man. They make you believe that we were selling ourselves.
How did the so-called Africans take us away from the real Africans?
No, when I say so-called is because the real African, when you just say African, you know, you ever heard of Leo Africanus?
No matter what you
Leo
say,
Scipio
it all
Africanus.
goes back to our
He's a
people.
Roman
It
general.
started with our people.
So if you say I'm an African, that means you are from the loins of Leo Scipio Africanus.
I'm a Leo.
If you say you're an American, that means you're from the loins of Amerigo Vespucci. Amerigo Vespucci was an Italian explorer. Leo Scipio Africanus was a Roman general. He won in the Second Punic War. Who did he beat? He beat an Israelite. What's the Israelite's name? I don't know. Hannibal. He beat Hannibal. Hannibal was an Israelite. He beat him in the Second Punic War to take that land over. Then he said, hey, we're calling this Africa. They do that. That's found in the Bible. Psalms 94:11. We're not going to read it. Read that, though.
Malachi chapter 1 verse 4.
They call their lands after themselves, right? But read this.
Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
So Edom says, read.
They shall build, but I will throw down.
God say, I'll throw them down. When that happened? When did they rebuild?
Never,
The word means rebuild. Yeah, they did.
No, they
After the
didn't.
Dark Ages.
They never
What was it called?
rebuilt.
Who knows that? After the Dark Ages, who came and rebuilt? The
Rebuild
word.
what?
The Moors.
No. After the Dark
Rebuild
Ages.
what?
Rebuilt the cities and they tried
Where?
to they tried to redo
Where?
all throughout Europe, Russia,
You talking
throughout the world.
Renaissance era.
Life just
Talking about the
started in
Renaissance?
Egypt, though.
Renaissance.
All life started in Egypt.
The word Renaissance means to redo, to rebuild. Read.
They shall build, but I will throw down.
God said he will throw this place down. Read.
And they shall call them the border of wickedness.
We call them the border of wickedness. Now who's Edom? Read that. Who's Edom?
This is the Wikipedia for Edom. It says, once pushed out of their territory, the Edomites settled during
So Edomites, Edomites, read.
settled
You
during
got the white folks?
Watch, read it. We gonna let it read out.
The
Told you it's in Wikipedia, but it's down here. See that? It ain't at the top. You gotta go
You
down.
gotta go to the
Read.
down. You gotta go to the bottom. Right?
Read.
The Edomites settled during the Persian period in an area comprising the southern hills of Judea, down to the area north of Beersheba. The people appear under a Greek form of their old name
Of their old name. What's it? What is it?
as Idumeans.
Idumeans. That's the Greeks. Edom is the Greeks. They know. See that? See how everyone know but us?
Because we so far separated from
Right, but how do we come
Y'all
back?
still, we can't come back.
Yeah,
There's
we
no
can.
coming back. No, we can't.
Yeah, we
Ain't
can.
coming back.
Go to
There's
Hebrews.
no coming back. It's not. Oh,
Hey.
excuse me.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Hebrews 8. How do we come back? Watch this. So you do understand that Hebrews 10:26 though, right? Once you find out what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, but that wasn't what I was asking you though.
That's the in between because
No,
let's say I find out one thing.
So can I say what I was
Go ahead.
saying?
Go ahead.
So when you find out, yes, okay, so that's when you find out. But I'm saying when you're on your walk and there's stuff that you haven't found out about.
That's my point.
So but you can still be used by God, whatever part of your walk that you're on, you can still be used by God. And sometimes when you're in a dark area and people see you becoming delivered, then that's being used by God as well. So I'm saying, what's the in between on when you're on your walk with God and you, yes, you're right, like you change the stuff that you knew, but you're still falling short.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
Well, you're not falling short if you're learning. Meaning what? Okay, you're talking about ignorance, right? There's a point of ignorance. Like, I didn't know that, right? I didn't know I was supposed to do that. But that's why I read to you about self-will, right? Or willingly sinning. Meaning, I learned this, but I'm still going to go do it. Because that's what we call falling short, right? In the Christianity world, we call falling short, I'm sinning something. I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I fell short. That's what we call falling short. But you're using it in the form of, well, I didn't know that yet, right? Well, that's not falling short. You did not know. That's why we read Hebrews 10:26. It's once you find out, right? So watch this. Actually, we're going to hold off on Hebrews 8. Go back to Titus 2 because I want to finish grace now. Read.
The book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 11. For the grace of God that bringeth salvation hath appeared to all men.
That's what we love to hear. Well, Christianity, right? The Christians, the so-called. Read.
Teaching us that denying ungodliness.
But see, what do grace teach you though? What is grace supposed to teach you?
Denying ungodliness.
To deny ungodliness, not to keep sinning. To deny it. Read.
And worldly lust.
And worldly lust. It's supposed to teach you that. Read.
We should live soberly, righteously, and godly.
Soberly means sober-minded, in the right mind, right? Be in the right mind, meaning living godly. That's what it's talking about. What is godly? Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Go to John 5:3. 1 John 5:3. Read that. Watch. Read that.
1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God.
Because we all say we love God, right? So now the Bible's going to define what love is. This is the love. Read. Watch. Read.
For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments.
That we do what?
That we keep his commandments.
Read.
And his commandments are not grievous.
See that? It's not grievous. We make it grievous. Why? I told you. We always get pushback when it comes to laws and commandments. We'll be talking to some brothers, and they all agree, the white man's the devil, and this and that. But then we start showing you how to build family structure. Why? According to the laws. How to deal with your wife. How? According to the laws. How to deal with your brother. How? According to the laws. Then we get kickback. You know what I'm saying? Some people maybe say, yeah, I love God, and I want to do his will. I want to do right. I want to do right by God. I want to do his will. Well, what the will of God is, it always runs back to what? Keeping the commandments. Psalms 40, verse 8. We don't have to read that, though.
Quick question.
Yes, sir.
Where does women fit in y'all book?
Oh, I mean...
Because I'm not trying to be funny.
No,
I've
I
only seen just brothers.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
Hey, check it out. We've heard this, like, in our community especially. A strong man needs a what? Strong woman. We hear that all the time. That's where the woman fit. The woman's always been a strong woman. Meaning, the Israelite woman, first of all, she's very precious. In the Bible, back in the day, it says she didn't even dare to put her foot on the ground. You know how you see them old movies and they carrying around the Egyptian woman? No, they just got that from us. Our Israelite women didn't even dare to put her foot on the ground, right? But guess what? She's modest. She's of mild behavior. She understands her role. What is she supposed to do? Back her man. Well, we all understand that too, right? We knew that back in the 60s even. When we first tried to stand up, but what happened? Feminists came, huh? The white woman came and said, hey, you don't need your man. We don't either. But did the white woman ever leave her man and become independent? No. Tricked the black woman to do it, though. Now we got independent women and all that. No. No. You see that? No. I can do bad all by myself. No, but you never seen a white woman do that. But she told you should do it. Why? To split up the family. So the white.
No,
so
you
so
don't
the,
see them do it. They just do it.
So
That's
watch
why
this.
the white
Here's
women
the role of the Israelite woman. This is what God said. Go to 1 Timothy chapter 5. Start at verse 12. Watch this. Now this is talking about a widow woman, right? A young woman. Maybe she was married, but she lost her. Now when they say young, they're talking about under the age of 60. That's what the Bible says. 60. 20 is a score, right? Read.
1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 9.
Let me just get it.
Let not a widow be taken into
Right.
the number of the 60 years.
So it says, let not a widow be taken into the number of 60 years. 60 years old, right? Read.
Having been the wife of one man,
Having been the wife of one man.
well reported for good works.
So what we're reading is the stipulations of the church taking care of the woman, right? Read.
If she have brought up children, if she have lodged strangers, if she have washed the saints' feet, if she have relieved the afflicted, if she have diligently followed every good work. But the younger widows refuse.
So, but the younger widows, the ones that's under 60, they refuse. Why?
For when they have begun to wax wanton,
Horny, right? We grown. When they begun to wax wanton, when they got horny, read.
against Christ.
So not to interrupt, not to cut you off, but I just want to know, like, in your end result, like, what do you guys expect, like, the end of your journey, like, what do you guys expect, like, what will be, like, if you laying on your deathbed 4 days from now, not wishing this on you,
No, I
I'm
get
just
you.
saying, like, what would be your life's, what will make you feel good, like you live, you know what I mean?
That I was a part of this. Isaiah 49 verse 6.
Exactly.
That I was a part of this right here.
What would make you feel like, you know what I mean?
I got you.
This is what I should have did. This is righteous. This was, you know what I mean? This was righteous. This is what I was here for.
This would make me feel good right here. Isaiah 49 verse 6. Read that.
Isaiah chapter 49, verse 6. And he said, it is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant, to raise up the tribes.
So it said it's a light thing. I mean, it's real easy to be a servant of God. To do what?
To raise up the tribes of Jacob.
That's the plot. That's what I'm trying to do. Like I was telling the sister earlier when you guys went out, because you had said about recruiting and all that. It's not about recruiting. It's about trying to show you this is your nationality. Remember, because I asked you, it's not about a choice. I asked you, did you have a choice to be black? You said no. I was born that way. We were born Israelites. It's not about recruiting you to some religion.
No, we weren't born Israelites.
It's about, but see, that's only
you going back to bloodline wise, but
that's what I'm talking about.
We weren't born into Israelitism.
No,
we
but it's not ism.
We
There's
were
no
born
ism
into.
involved.
What I'm saying, we were born into
you.
a Christian. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Respectfully, what I'm saying, we wasn't born into Israel. My mother didn't. I wasn't born, and my mother took me to.
No, but listen,
Israel.
No,
You know what I mean?
No, what I'm telling you is this. Just like today, we say I was born black. No, we were born Israelite. That's just what it is. But we were taught that we're black and we're African American and we're everything else but the Israelite. We were taught that. So that's why you say we wasn't born into it. And I get what you're saying. What we were born into is white man lies.
What I'm saying, why if all life started in Egypt, why were we born into Egyptians? Why are you born into Israelites and not Egyptians?
We're not Egyptians. Your
How if all
nationality is an
life
Israelite.
started? How if all
He read it. Remember Exodus 11 and 7? God put a difference between the Egyptian and the Israelite.
But they
We're
said
different.
all life started, life began, the Garden of Eden. They teach us in that same
I get what you're
Bible.
saying. I get what you're saying.
It started in, so how are we not
Here, I help you out. Nope, not Galatians 4. Go to Deuteronomy chapter 7. So we always read this to the people, like you said, the small little redundancy, to try to help our people understand what God really thinks of them, right? Read verse 6, but we're going to read on this time. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. Thou art a holy people.
Like you said, if you've been watching any little bit, you heard this. You are a holy people. He's talking to the Israelites. Read.
Unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto
Because
himself.
he chose the Israelites to be a special people unto himself. Read.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Read.
The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in number than any people, but you were the fewest of all people. But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand.
Where did he bring us out of with a mighty hand? Egypt. Read.
And redeemed you out of the house of bondmen.
You see that? What he called Egypt at that time? House of what?
House of bondmen.
House of bondmen. How do we know that for sure? That's what he calls it. Go to Deuteronomy. What is that? 5 and 6. Read that. Stay in the book of Deuteronomy. Watch.
Deuteronomy chapter 5 verse 6. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt,
See that? Read.
from the house of bondage.
See that? That's what he's telling us. Now go back to 7 and 7 and read it again.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 7. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in number than any people, for you were the fewest of all people. But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers.
So we was the fewest of all people. Read.
Hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand,
The oath that he gave to our fathers was the oath that he gave to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Read.
and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
You see that? That's what happened. That's what happened.
Man, I hate to cut y'all short.
Hey, no,
I
don't.
want you to, man, go ahead, tell them where they can find you at, man. Let them know where they can, address, everything.
You got it. You can follow us on all social media accounts, Twitter, IUIC Seattle, Facebook, IUIC Seattle, Instagram, IUIC Seattle, YouTube, the same, TikTok, IUIC
Don't forget
Seattle.
TikTok.
Yeah, you know that's hit
Hey,
that.
Officer Matthias, we got you.
Our website, Israelite.org. Yeah, there's a bunch of ways to reach out to us.
Hey, we got the school out in Tacoma, Washington. If you local listening, Tacoma, Washington, we got the school out there. 2415 South 12th Street.
Every Monday we open up at about 7:30, and then we allow people to come in at 8 o'clock. We answer all questions. So yeah, we're open.
We got classes Mondays, like you said, at 8 p.m. We got classes Saturday. School open at noon. Yes, sir, man. That's what's up, man.
Hey,
Appreciate it, bro.
before we get up out of here, man, we got the spot on the spot, man. You know what I mean? I just want to thank these brothers once again. Little do they know I'm going to give them the invite again and shit like that, man. You know what I mean? Because, you know, we just drop some knowledge for y'all. Go do your homework. Go do your research.
Yes, sir.
You know, again, this is just to keep an open, common mind, open, common mindset, man. And if you pay attention, man, you know, you might learn something for real. Again, man, we at the spot, man. We got Kendra with us, man. We got the brothers from Israel with us, man. You know, Boskoe100. And, man, we up out of here, man.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.